Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome to the Snowboard Pro Camp live chat here with TJ today.
Hey, what's up, guys?
So if you guys have seen some of the latest videos, we've been snowboarding here in Colorado, currently staying in Dillon, Colorado, and riding at Keystone. And I know a lot of you are putting together your snowboard gear list for the season, so I thought it would be appropriate to make a live chat centered around snowboard gear. So if you guys have any gear questions, definitely hit us up. And we're gonna talk to you guys throughout the chat about some of our top gear picks. I know, like both of us, we've kind of got our snowboard gear sorted out for the upcoming season. So we're gonna talk to you guys about some of the stuff that we have, and then not just the gear that we have, but some of the other like top picks, that either gear that we've considered or gear that we've had in the past that we think is just really good quality stuff. So yeah, excited to share that with all you guys. If you guys have seen TJ's channel over at Board Archive, you know TJ is on like 50, 60, 70 boards a year. How many boards do you think you ride a season?
I try to do 40 to 50. So
nice.
Yeah, but really gonna just push to see how many I can do this season.
Yeah, so TJ's got lots of board knowledge, and I think we've each been just trying to, over the years, put together like the best gear kit that we possibly can, because this is, you know, like our job. We're snowboarding year round, and to kind of have just good gear just goes towards like enjoying snowboarding more.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and just a quick note too, we're not sponsored. No brands pay us to say anything good about their gear.
That's right.
So yeah, we have free reign to tell you guys the truth about, you know, we definitely want to just, you know, we're trying to find the best stuff and test it out and then pass that on to you guys. So yeah, let's get into some questions and some shout outs. And yeah, one more thing too, if you guys want to support the channel, doing a super chat is an awesome way to do it, and a really good way to get your question answered as well. So let's run through it. Yeah, huge shout out for everyone for tuning in. And yeah, a few shout outs to for Luke for tuning in, Calvic23, Stewie Jackman, and Stewie Jackman has one of the first gear questions. He says, what goggles would you use for the best price? Yeah, good question. So what goggles would we use for the best price? I feel like the goggles that I've ridden in the last couple of years, I think that have been like reasonably priced, are the Oakley Line Miners. Like they're very high quality, and I feel like they're not like insanely expensive. So they are on the more expensive end, but for me, I wouldn't go much lower than that, just because I'm using goggles every day.
Yeah, goggles are so critical. You know, every day out there on the mountain makes a huge difference in the experience out there. For me, I actually tried a more budget pair of goggles last season, which I think maybe if you were just out there a few days out of the year, it could work. Those were the Smith Squads, or the Squad XL. But honestly, I would recommend Dragon goggles if you're looking for something that's high quality but still comes in at a good price. With the Dragons, you're going to get a spare lens, and they got the Luma lens tech, so similar to the Prism on the Oakleys.
Cool, nice, yeah. Ryan Batt says, thoughts on Burton step-ons? Great question. We do get like every live chat, and I think the step-ons, it's like one of those things where if you prioritize the convenience of being able to get in and out of your bindings quickly, then the step-ons are probably for you. And we have a lot of friends and people we know that love step-ons. But for me personally, I think that I prioritize like the function and like the performance side of having like bindings with good straps. And so like those straps just like help to really put you like in direct contact with your board and transferring your movements into it. So I think you sacrifice a bit of that with the Burton step-ons, but it's a personal preference of like wanting that more convenience. What do you think, TJ? You've been in the step-ons a few times.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, man. I think, yeah, I don't think I really have anything to add. Honestly, that's a great summary right there. And
yeah, Calvic23 with a great question here as well. Thoughts on 32 Team 2 boots? We've both ridden 32s in the past, and I've had mixed feelings about them. I had them for like 3 or 4 years and loved them, thought they were comfortable and great performance. And then the last pair I had just really destroyed my feet for some reason. They were like giving me all kinds of weird pressure points, really tight on my Achilles heel. Like actually, like I had to take a week off of snowboarding because they were so tight on my Achilles. And then even our friend Andreas at Comor in Whistler, he wore them around his shop and was heat molding them, trying to like break them in for me, and he couldn't even wear them because they were killing his feet too much as well. So, and then before that, I had the Team 3 boots, and I couldn't wear those more than a couple months because they were hurting my feet too badly. So I don't know what happened, if it just changed, something changed in the liners, but I had some bad experiences.
Yeah, that's wild. I feel like it's been a couple of seasons since I rode 32s, but yeah, I've ridden the TM2s and the TM3s, but that was before I really like focused on trying to minimize my boot size, so it was a little loose in there.
Oh, really? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so I think maybe I'll give them another try one day, but
yeah,
you got to try them on. I think.
Yeah. Yep. All right, good questions. Yeah, and at the moment, so just to follow up on those boots right now, I'm riding the Vans Sequel boots, which have been, I think, great for performance. They're like a mid-flex, so giving you some ankle support, and they've been very comfortable and like no foot pain. And then before that, I had the Vans High Standard Pros, which were a little bit softer. I think a great like sort of beginner intermediate boot. And they also like were very, very comfortable. I wore them all day long from the time I just put them on without heat molding them, wore them all day long, and then snowboarded, went out for dinner, came home, and my feet were completely fine. So that's the kind of boot you want to find. What have you been wearing?
For sure, yeah. So this season I've been on the Ride Fuse boot, so I've got about 30 days on them. I've been liking them a lot so far. It's my first time trying out Ride boots, and they're pretty cool because it's like a combination of the standard lace with a boa on the side that kind of pulls the tongue in to keep them a little bit tighter if you're into that, if you need that. But yeah, they've been great so far, and I'll have a review out on them in not too long if you guys want to check that out.
Nice. And Ben Morgan says, looking for some new goggles. What do you recommend for the best peripheral view? That's so important for snowboarding, is like the good peripheral vision. And that's actually why I bought the goggles that I have now. They're the Anon M4s. And they, I think, have the best peripheral I've ever had. Very like wide. And they sit close enough to your face as well so that you don't feel like you're looking through a tunnel. And the pair of goggles I'd also recommend for maybe somebody that has a bit of a like medium-sized face would be like the Oakley Line Miners, which are still very wide, but like I would say just a little bit less wide than the Anon M4s. What about you, man?
Yeah, I think the two best goggles I've had for peripheral, which that's something that matters a lot, I think, to all of us out there riding, is the NFX, which is the goggles I'm currently using, and I was also really happy with the Oakley Flight Decks, which I wore all last season.
Nice. Yeah, Flight Decks as well, just lots of peripheral. And
I think the M4s are a little bigger even than the Flight Decks though, right?
I don't know. I don't think the frame itself is maybe not as big because it sits like closer to your face too. So maybe it's like there's a compromise there. But yeah, one thing to consider when buying goggles too is like the size of your head. So if you have like, if you wear like a small or medium helmet, maybe think about like getting a smaller pair. You don't need like goggles that are super big. So you can definitely get smaller goggles depending on your face size. Yeah, great questions so far, guys. Thanks so much. Tim S says, do you need to set back the Orca when riding in powder, or just the ride recommended stance? You can definitely just ride the recommended stance because it's like naturally set back, and yeah, even past like the contact points that like the nose is so much bigger and wider. It's just gonna like, you just put it into the regular stance and it's gonna naturally float for you. It's just designed to float, really. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
That's about it. So
The setback's built in, so.
yeah, TJ's board is back there as well. He's got the Battalion Party Wave. So that's like your powder board for the season?
Yeah, that's gonna be my powder board for the year. Haven't got to take it into some soft snow yet, but hopefully soon. And yeah, it's got everything that you want. It's got a taper, got a setback, and Battalion's powder 3BT. And it's also very wide, kind of like the Orca. So yeah, it should be fun to try out.
Yeah, with those powder board shapes, across most brands and lines, you're gonna get that like naturally set back stance, so that you don't you can just put it where the what do they call it, like the recommended stance.
Yep, yeah, the reference stance.
Reference stance.
Yeah, another thing with the powder boards too is that they pretty much all have a directional shape, so like a longer nose than tail outside the contact points, that widest spot. So when you're in powder, you're using the full length from tip to tip, so that'll kind of act as even more of a setback.
Any other board shout outs for like a powder specific directional board for like top picks?
I think I was choosing between the Surfer and the Party Wave, but the Mind Expander.
Battalion Surfer, yeah.
That Battalion Surfer. Ended up going for the Party Wave though.
Jones Mind Expander,
yeah. The Jones Mind Expander I think looks really, really good.
Yeah, one I was looking at as well was the Never Summer Swift. So there's a great snowboard shop in Whistler called CSM Whistler, where they do like repairs on skis and boards, and the guy that owns that, he has a Never Summer Swift, and it's such a quality looking board. I was very tempted to pick it up, but went for the sure thing with the Orca there. You can kind of see the eye poking out right there. But yeah, between those boards, it's like there's so many fun shapes between the Mind Expander, Orca, Party Wave, lots of good ones out there.
Absolutely.
Oh, great question from George Voinia. He says, what boards are best for mountains on the East Coast? So for me, I feel like if I was riding the East Coast, I would definitely get a board that has like some kind of multiple contact points. So the bumps on the side of your edge that just give you extra grip, because if you're on the East Coast, you're gonna have some ice. So yeah, like I've got a GNU board, I've got the GNU headspace, and that it just grips the ice, like it just helps so much. So check out a board with magnet traction. What are some of the other?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say, definitely something like that. Arbor's another great one with their grip tech. The Yes mid bite that they use is also really, really functional. And you can find magnet traction on some other brands as well. I know Jones has something very similar, and Rosignol. But yeah, I think that's huge for the East Coast icy conditions.
Definitely, yeah. Notorious HAN says, what's up, Kevin and TJ? Hey, Kevin, I bought the same Volcom Brighton anorak online and was super long and oversized. What size did you get, and did you have to size down? Oh, very good question. Yeah, I feel like with different brands and different models, you get different, I guess, like cuts in the style. And Volcom, I think typically their stuff is a little bit longer in the length and in the arm length. So for me, I'm a little bit of a taller dude. I'm like 6'3.5", and so my arms are a little bit long, my torso's longer. So the Volcom Brighton anorak was like perfect for me, and I'm slim too. So like it's a bit more of a slim fit. So yeah, I think if you're it's a tough call because they're slimmer fits. You also don't want to go too small, or else it's going to be tight. But then the material is stretchy, so it stretches pretty well. So I would say not to size down unless you are maybe a little bit shorter. Then you could probably just ride like, I don't know, the same size as your t-shirt.
Did you get the XL on the
Yes,
anorak?
So I got the XL, and I'm 6'3.5" and 185 pounds.
Yeah, and I guess just for a little more reference, I don't have that specific anorak, but I've worn a lot of Volcom jackets, and last year I wore the stretch gore jacket in a medium, and I thought that fit pretty well, and I actually went for a large this year, so it's a bit more of a baggy fit, definitely a little bit oversized, but and I'm 5'10".
Yep.
5'10" slim fit as well.
But one thing too with snowboard gear, you do want to get it with that little bit of extra length, and even in the arms, because if you're going through powder, you want to have that ability to kind of like pull your sleeves out over your mitts or your gloves and to keep the snow out, or even like having your jacket below your butt a little bit to keep out the snow from going up. So I don't know how many seasons you have in snowboarding, but that's one thing to consider. Like, I know that after a long summer, sometimes putting on my snowboard gear, everything kind of feels like oversized and big. But I think if you just get used to it and you're up on the mountain, you kind of appreciate that extra size. Would you agree with that?
Totally, yeah. And I mean, I think Volcom is a brand that really embraces that because they do the drop tail on a lot of their jackets. So
yeah, huge fan of like jackets with the drop tail. So I have the Anorak is my park jacket, and then I also have the Volcom Gooch Gore-Tex jacket for my like backcountry and powder jacket, and it's the same kind of fit, so a little bit longer in the length and everything. And it's not a jacket I would wear like around town because it's like too baggy, but out like in the mountains with like a couple layers underneath and riding through powder, I'm definitely going to appreciate that extra size.
Totally.
And one more thing too, it's like I have had issues in the past with like if gear is too small and you have that like tightness and you like go for like, if you're in the park, you go for like a grab and you feel like some kind of like restriction in from your outerwear, that's no good too.
Yeah, totally. I actually just had an experience like that. I was picking up some bibs I was looking at for the upcoming season. There were some ride bibs, and I got them in, and they're just really tight around the waist and tight around the knees. So yeah, sometimes gear can just fit a little tight.
All right, so we're getting into some super chats. We got tons of super chats from you guys. Thanks so much for the support. First one is from Aaron Christensen. Thanks for the support, man, and being a sponsor. He says, need new park board, something jibby in the park and butter groomers. Nice. What about the new name dropper? Or what would you suggest? Good question, man.
Yeah.
So I think for us, it's easy, like the park boards we bought. So I got the GNU Headspace because of the combination of that ability to use it as like a jib board, but then it's also like very easy to press for butters. So that's one I would recommend. TJ, what's your board?
I'm on the Evil Twin this year, and
Battalion Evil Twin.
The Battalion Evil Twin, and so it's full camber, but it's got like a medium soft flex, so it's still quite pressable, and it's got the 3BT technology. So on the nose and tail, it's like spooned, like lifted up a little bit, so that really helps make it nice and catch free, which is really fun for butters. I've actually got I was gonna say I've had the chance to ride your board too, like a different size, but it was like a very like buttery friendly type board. So because of that spoon, you can just get those like butter 180s or 3s around like so smoothly. Super fun for that style of riding, absolutely. And as far as the name dropper goes, that's the softest board on the Burton line. So if as far as Burton goes, that would be the one.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then another one I would shout out from LibTech would be like the box knife. A friend of ours got the box knife, and it's like a very pressable, but at the same time like gives you lots of control and enough like stiffness so that you can take it off jumps and jibs as well. Do you have another board you'd shout out? Top park board picks?
I think the Kappa Outer Space Living, if you're looking for that kind of more jibby, softer flexing board, I think that's a really good one to look at as well.
Nice.
Yeah, Camrock profile soft flex on that guy.
Justin with the super chat. Thanks for the support, Justin. He says, have you two tried Never Summer boards? Surprisingly, I don't think I've ever been on a Never Summer, but I know you've been on a few. You were spotting the Fun Slinger today.
Yeah. I've ridden quite a few Never Summer boards.
Was one of your first boards the Fun Slinger by Never Summer?
Actually, yeah. So before Never Summer had the Fun Slinger, they had the Evo and the Revolver. So the Revolver was like the wide version of it.
Cool.
And I actually owned the Revolver, and I rode it a lot, and I had a lot of fun on it.
Cool.
But yeah, Never Summer makes great boards, and I hope to get on more this season.
Nice, man. And Jose Bautista with the $20 super chat. Thanks, Jose, for the support, man. We'll grab some dinner, some tacos on you. Really appreciate it.
Shout out, Jose. Thank you, man.
Hot Diggity, really long, crazy name, $2 super chat. with a really weird question. All right. Well, thanks for the support.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know.
And Care with the super chat. Thanks for being a sponsor. Says, hi, love your reviews. First season snowboarding, tried some boots, but trouble around calves. Fat calves, I guess. Also wide feet. Circulation problem. Any advice? Care? Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, sir, you're having that problem. I would say the best advice is to go into a shop and put your feet and calves into some different boots and just see which ones are really the most comfortable. I think one thing that I've learned is that the more time you can spend with your feet in boots in stores, just the more you can start to get the feel of like, oh, like this boot feels more comfortable, this boot has more pressure points. And sometimes I've heard like salespeople do this where they try to like say like, oh, if you're in pain right now, don't worry because it's going to go away. You'll break it in. But that's not true. Sometimes the pain doesn't go away.
Sometimes.
Yeah. So from my experience, I've had maybe like, 20 plus pairs of boots over the years. And I would say just get the boots that feel comfortable in the store. Yeah, what do you think?
I think that's solid advice, man. But yeah, spend some time in the boots as well. Wear them around the shop, walk around for like 15, 20 minutes even or longer if you can, and really try to get an idea of what they're going to feel like.
Yeah.
And as far as the calf specific pressure goes, I know Ride does make some boots with an adjustable calf, so you could maybe check that out.
Oh, cool. Nice. Yeah. Good luck with that. Yeah. Sorry about that. That problem really stinks. Josh Eckhart with the super chat. Thanks for the support. Josh says, hey guys, it was sick meeting you and shredding it up at Keystone yesterday. Oh yeah, Josh, man, we rode with you like most of the day yesterday.
Oh, yeah. So many laps.
Yeah, we lost you some point at the end there, but I think we may have stopped to have a quick washroom break and we just lost you somehow, man. But yeah, I was really, really stoked to ride with you. And he says, again, the most appreciation to you guys for bringing me from nothing to something amazing. Did or do you guys wear crash shorts? I guess on that day we were talking about that a little bit, but yeah, I wear Burton crash shorts every time I go. And yeah, I think they're about, I don't know, maybe in the States, maybe like $80 or something, $80, $90.
Somewhere around there.
And they've saved my like tailbone like so many times. Even just one time is worth it. So I recommend crash shorts, and they make them pretty good now with like, they're very slim fit and they just have like very strategic padding like where you need it. And it's not like a big like fluffy padding. It's like this, what is it called? Like G-force protection.
Yeah, I forget what they call it, but it's like that material that when it gets an impact, it stiffens up.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's just like really slim, and you don't even really feel like you're wearing it. But yeah, I definitely recommend crash shorts. Engine with the super chat. Thanks so much. He's got the hand with the number 1.
How did he even do that?
I don't know. I think there's like a new thing on super chats where people can buy like stickers.
Oh.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Cool. Love it, man. Thanks for the support and for hopping on. Staying up late in Europe. Really appreciate it.
Oh, yeah.
Michael Williams with the super chat says, are you guys worried Whistler opening day will be delayed with what feels like a lack of early season snow? Don't say it. I don't know. I'm sure Whistler, they'll be making snow, so I think that's going to help. What do you think, TJ?
I think they're 100% going to make it happen. It might not be like a full-on POW day, top to bottom epic conditions, but it's going to be snowboarding. So yeah, it's going to be good.
I think right now too, there's maybe spots around Whistler where you can do like short hikes, and people have like tubes and like things set up for if you're interested in jibbing. And Whistler will definitely like 100% be open for the American Thanksgiving.
Yep.
So do you know what, is that the last weekend of November this year?
I think it's the 28th of November this year. Yep.
Okay.
Very, very close to the end of the month.
So that's like so far away. I guess that would be a late opening, because normally it opens like mid-November. So
Yeah, we'll see what happens, but I feel like in Whistler as well, like this happened last year, it was kind of like rainy, and then the
Yeah.
snow came, and within like a few days, it was just snow everywhere. So
yeah.
I'm hoping that's going to happen soon.
Yeah, I think when the snow comes in Whistler, it comes in like, in dumps. So
Full force.
full force. All right, so another super chat from that crazy wild name, and it says, do you ride the same stance in park and POW? No. So my park stance is usually, I think we have the same park stance. Plus 15, negative 15.
15, yeah, very, very common park stance.
And centered right in the board. And then what would you say your POW stance is?
I might try to play around with it a little more this year, but for years I've just been going the back foot to negative 12 on the more directional boards.
Yeah, and I would do my back foot, I think negative 9, front foot plus 15. And then if you are riding a more twin board, you can definitely set your stance more back towards the tail, make that tail as small as possible. And with the larger nose, that'll just help to keep your nose up in the powder. Where my park stance is, pretty much just centered. And I would say I go a little bit wider in my stance in powder too, because a little bit wider, I think, gives you more stability, like at high speeds or landing drops or things. Do you go a bit wider too?
Actually, I do, but it's very minor, and I think
Yeah.
that's like those little personal preferences that you figure out over time. But I do go slightly wider on the powder. But
Nice.
Yeah, exactly right. More
Yeah,
stability.
great question.
Yeah.
Chris with the super chat, thanks man, says picked up Orca 153, never had a free ride board, recommendations on stance setup for it. Love the content, and we'll say hi if I see you dudes at Breck. Awesome. Yeah, we'll hopefully be at Breck this weekend. So we'll see you there, Chris. But stance on the Orca, like we were just talking about, I would do negative 9 or negative 12 in the back, plus 15 in the front, and then set it up to like with the reference stance. So kind of like where they recommend the stance to be, and you're good.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, you're gonna love it, man. I hope you enjoy that board and get lots of POW days this season to ride it. And Jen with the super chat says, shout out to Chuck E. Have fun with that 3L 3L tub Nutella. Very nice. All right.
Is that a 3-liter tub of Nutella?
3 liters. Oh, wow.
That's a lot of Nutella.
Shout out to Chucky. Yeah. Is it your birthday? Happy birthday or whatever's going on?
Shout out Chucky, man.
Jose Bortisa with another super chat, and he's shouting out his homies there, the DWCP crew. Very nice. Max Ledesma says, will a 250 millimeter waist width be good for 10 size boot? What's the standard waist width? I don't even know, like, what's a regular waist width?
Yeah, I think if you're in a size 10 boot, like kind of between 25 and 26 is pretty standard until you get to the
Nice.
really large sizes. So you should be fine. You'll definitely be fine actually with a 250. But I will say that, if you're looking to like really lay over like Euro carves or do those aggressive carves where the board goes more kind of vertical, perpendicular to the snow, you'd probably want to go wider. But for just normal riding, you'll be totally fine.
Yeah, I'm sure, Max, it sounds like you're probably like a regular rider, and size 10 boots should fit fine on a regular width board.
Yeah.
Yeah, that should be all good. Yeah, I have size 10 boots, and I just go for regular width. TJ, what size are yours?
So I've been going down and down and down my boot size every season, and this year I made it down to an 8.5.
Is it like better? Is it better to have the smaller feet?
I think so. And I mean,
you ride
again,
wide boards.
It's getting nitpicky, right?
Yeah.
There is a slight advantage to it. You have a smaller footprint on the board.
Is that good?
Yeah. So it like helps the flex of the board feel more how it's supposed to versus having like a larger dead zone. And of course, the biggest advantage I think is the heel and toe overhang
for carving.
Carving. But I also have like my party wave is 28 centimeters at the waist.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit overkill, but Why
yeah,
not? Why
no,
not?
why not? Yeah, if it's comfortable and it's good.
It is.
Nice,
Yeah, I'm actually
perfect.
really stoked on it.
Aaron Christensen with another super chat, and Aaron says, size question. My process off axis is 155 for jib and park. Should I go shorter? 5'6", 170 pounds. No, I wouldn't go shorter. I feel like that's like a good length. 170 pounds, 155. I'm 185 pounds, and mine's a 159. So
I think that's spot on, man.
yeah, spot on. There you go. Justin with the super chat says, have you guys tried the Union Expedition bindings? Yeah, TJ, you have those bindings, right?
I do, yeah. I have the Union Expeditions on my split board. I've used them for a couple of years now. I've done several tours with them, and they work well. I think they come in at a really good price for split board bindings, and you can mount them on a split board or a regular snowboard, which is pretty cool. But they do have a little bit of play in them, and it takes a little bit longer to transition over from walking mode to riding mode because it's like a pin-based system. So I think they're a good value, but if you want the best performance, I'd probably go for an actual like split board binding company. I'm looking to get some Spark R&Ds this year.
Right, there you go. Yeah, I think, when we go out, I have the Spark R&Ds. TJ's got the Union Expeditions, and I probably switch over like in half the time.
Yeah, actually, this last trip we did, the last time we went splitboarding, I think was in Chile, and we had some kind of harsh conditions, and Kevin being able to transfer over so much faster I was definitely jealous. Felt like I was making it harder on myself than it needed to be. So
yeah, I think they're probably fine, but you might as well, like, I guess our top picks would be the Spark R&D. They're just like that much more, like when you're up there and you're like battling the elements, you want the bindings to just be able to switch over as quickly as possible. So yeah, check out the Sparks. And Care with another super chat says, hi from sunny LA. Can you guys make a vid on adjusting bindings? Definitely, yeah. I feel like there's a few videos already like that on the channel, but it's always good for a refresher. And TJ over on Board Archive, you probably could do a few binding mount videos.
Actually that's on my list, and I'm hoping to actually get that one out before the season starts up in Whistler. So
nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, big shout out. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Over 235 people watching, 55 likes. Appreciate it, guys. And let's do some shout outs before we get back to the questions. We got Chuck Van on here. We got Tyler Houston, Robbie Berry, Richard Swallock, Dylan, Johnny Snipes. We saw Johnny today. Was that today?
I think we saw Johnny yesterday.
Yesterday.
Yeah, we've run into Johnny a couple of times. Great to finally meet you, put a face to the name.
Yeah, El Stacker says cannonball the like button. Thanks, El Stacker. And thanks everyone for tuning in. Josu has a question for TJ. Says, hey TJ, just bought a pair of Oyuki mitts. How often do you waterproof yours? And did you like them?
Yes, so I think they're the best gloves I've probably ever had. I've been really, really happy with them. I'm planning to get a new pair of Oyukis for the upcoming season. Currently still using the ones I wore all last season, and I haven't had any issues with water coming through. I have the Tamashi mitts, and they are Vortex, but the outer layer is starting to get kind of logged with water on the warmer days. So I haven't applied any waterproofing to them, but I plan to do that and just keep those as a backup pair.
Nice. So you're gonna do another season on Oyukis?
I think so. Yeah, I might go for a different model from them, but I was so happy with them. I think I'll try a different pair.
Nice. And my mitts for this season, I got the Crab Grab. I think it's called like the Punch mitten, but it's I've actually had, this is my second pair of Crab Grabs, and I find they're very comfortable. They've got all the small things that you want in mitts. So they've got like things like the strings that you can put around your waist or your wrists, so that if you do take them off, they just hang for some reason. I don't know why, like some mittens don't come with that just like automatically on them.
Yeah, that should always be like a default thing.
Yeah, because when you're on the chair, you know, you have to answer your phone or whatever it is, and you take your mitt off. Like having that wrist strap to hold on is so key. And then they also have like a soft, like sort of piece of like suede stuff on your thumb. And for us, we're always like have the GoPros out filming, so being able to like wipe off the GoPro lens or wipe off the goggle lens. We're doing that sometimes, you know, 40, 50 times a day, depending on the day. So, the crab grab mitts, second time. And also, too, something to look out for in mitts is like that the palm is like a bit grippy, because if you're in the park going for grabs, you want something that'll like grip a little bit.
Definitely.
But my second pair of mitts would be like the Anon Gentry mitt. I had that all for a whole year, and they held up very well. Would you shout out another pair of mitts as one of your top picks?
I like I picked up the Burton oven mitt, or I think it might be an AK.
Oh, yeah.
I was looking for something. It got really, really cold in Whistler last year, so I was like,
yep,
what is the warmest glove I can find? And it was the Burton oven mitt. And those are pretty rad. And it's kind of nice to have kind of different levels of warmth if you have multiple pairs of mittens, for those warmer days or colder days. And I think the oven mitt's going to last me a long time because I rarely use them. So
nice.
Yeah, but they're solid.
Yeah, and a good idea for mitts too is like definitely get mitts, because some people run like hotter, some people run colder. So you probably know that about yourself if you've been in some cold temperatures, that you know your hands get cold, or they never get cold and you're the person just like standing there with nothing on your hands. So consider that when buying mitts too, because they come like very thin or also very thick, and everything in between. So we have a friend, Chris Ayers on YouTube as well, and he rides like spring park mittens even on the coldest days, and he's always taking his mitts off because his hands are too warm. So one thing to keep in mind.
Definitely.
All right, back to the questions, guys. Just Fishin' says, hey guys, watch your vids every time you post. Thanks so much. The sandbox helmets you both wear, are they sandbox snow helmets or are they wakeboard helmets? Because I don't see the goggle band on the back of the helmets. Oh wow, it's like very observant of you, and you can tell you watch all the vids if you
That's
can.
awesome.
You notice that we took off the goggle like clip.
Yeah.
We both wear sandbox. They are both like the snow version, and that clip is like removable. So
Yeah, it just slides right off. So
yeah, and I wear the Legend helmet, and TJ's
the classic 2.0.
2.0.
And you definitely want to get the snow version. The wakeboard version it has a different material on the inside it's not meant for as big of an impact as the snow one. So make sure you get that one.
Yeah, and that's across all helmet brands as well, because different companies, they do make helmets for other sports, and so it's really important to get the snow version. Because they've been tested to protect the best for that. But also, it's like for helmets too, it's good to try helmets on. And if you can't, it's good to measure your head and get that perfect fit. And the reason we take that clip off too is because we both wear our goggles underneath our helmets. Just seems to be a little bit more of a comfortable way to do it. Beanie, goggles, face mask, beanie, goggles, helmet.
Yep.
And we've been loving the sandbox helmets because they're just very light and kind of like low profile and nothing fancy, no crazy style to them. They're just
simple, and I think they look awesome. So
I think simple is the best way. That's the best a good way to put it. And they look pretty good for helmets. Like it's hard to make helmets look good.
Yeah, I feel like that's something. At least for me, that took me some time to find the helmet that I was like, okay, this is the style of helmet I really like. I went through a lot where I felt I just had like a massive head.
Right.
But stoked on the sandbox.
Yeah, definitely wear helmets out there, guys. It's like I hit my head today actually, and I didn't even feel it because of my helmet, so it was all good.
That's why it's there.
And Locry with the super chat, thanks for the support, man, being a sponsor of the channel. He says, was at Keystone on Tuesday, being my third time I stayed on School Marm. Nice.
Sweet.
Heel side, falling leaf turns down perfectly. My toe sides are another story. I got my toe I got on my toe and got scared, so I didn't spot y'all. Yeah, no worries, man. We'll keep an eye out for you next time. We can see your photo right there. You got the, looks like the Oakley flight decks.
Some kind of
perhaps
goggle there.
And you got like a serious beard happening, so hopefully we'll see you next time. But yeah, that toe turn, it all just comes down to like find a mellow spot, slide on your toes, and just keep sliding until you're getting comfortable. Also, like, think about when you want to go back. I find toe sliding is easiest when you're like looking over your shoulder a little bit, and then by looking you kind of see what's coming up, and that will also like put you going into that direction. And then when you go that way too much, just start to look the other way. And even get a friend, grab somebody, a friend or whoever, to kind of give you a hand, even for just give that bit of extra confidence. But yeah, the toe, once you got toes down, you're set. Then you're gonna start linking your turns and you'll be sweet. Also, like, that's awesome that you're learning at this point, because the snow is still a bit firm. Like, it's like the early season kind of icy stuff.
Yeah.
Once the snow's in good conditions, you're gonna be like just learning so quickly. So
It'll be easier for sure.
yeah, definitely easier when the snow's good. But yeah, keep up with it, man. And yeah, thanks for the support. All right. Awesome, guys.
Shout out to the 230 people that are hanging out with us at the moment.
Yeah.
That's super rad.
All right, so Richard Swallock says, we live in Oshawa and are frequently riding Brimacombe, but I love to rip. What are your thoughts on this year's Burton flight attendant, and also thoughts on flight attendant versus Orca? Nice. So funny fact, I was born in Oshawa and lived there for most of my life, and I learned to snowboard at Brimacombe too.
No
but
way.
back then it was called Oshawa Ski Club or Kirby. So
That's wild.
yeah, so yeah, cool. That's amazing. But yeah, what would you say about the flight attendant for the East Coast riding?
Yeah, I think it wouldn't be bad. I don't know. I haven't ridden the flight attendant, the newest version of it. I rode it a couple of seasons ago, and I think it's a great kind of powder free ride board. It's going to have the frostbite, so it's a much mellower kind of added traction versus what you're going to find on the Orca. But yeah, I think the biggest difference, or one of the biggest differences, is the flight attendant's going to be camber dominant with the shifted camber, rocker in the nose, camber in the back, whereas the Orca is rocker dominant. So that's going to be the biggest difference in the feel, as well as the magna traction versus the frostbite.
Yeah, for me, if I was going back to good old Brimacombe where I learned to snowboard, I would, it kind of depends. If you like just want to ride the slopes and like get carving down and stuff like that, I would probably get something like the Orca, just because it's got the magna traction, so like holding an edge on ice, and we don't really get too much powder back in Ontario. So, but if the powder did come, you would definitely be the like dominant force in the mountain, just like flying through that powder on the Orca. But if you're more into freestyle as well, maybe check out a more twin friendly board, maybe something like the LibTech T-Rice Pro. What other stuff would you throw out there as more of a
Yeah, you could
freestyle?
You could check out the TRS. That's kind of a nice compromise. Still going to be great for all mountain and powder, but a little bit more freestyle friendly.
Even the E-Jack knife.
Yeah, the E-Jack knife could be a good alternate option as well. Again, going from the rocker dominant to the camber with that one.
But if you just want to bomb the mountain and carve it up and stuff, I would lean towards the Orca.
Between the two you mentioned, I would throw you towards the Orca as well.
Nice. Yeah, Richard, have fun, man. Maybe we'll see you back there one day. I haven't snowboarded there in probably, I don't want to say 18 years.
We should hit up Brimacombe and Apski Mountain.
Nice, yeah.
In the same season, that'd be rad.
Apski Mountain in North Carolina, that's where TJ learned to ride, or kind of got most of his experience?
Yep.
All right, and Jen with another super chat says, Kevin, back to the crab grab mittens. Yeah, so it was between the crab grabs and the Volcom Gore-Tex mitts. The problem with the Volcom Gore-Tex mitts is they didn't have my size. So that's why I didn't get those because they look good too.
Yeah, sometimes that's the way it goes.
But yeah, I like spend whenever I go into shops, like mittens is one of those things. It's very easy to like go to the mitten wall and you kind of like get a good idea of which ones you like. And the crab grabs always catch my eye, and putting them on, they're very comfortable. Also, yeah, like the Anons too. Even this year's Anons, they're very like between the Anons and the crab grab, they're both like that like mid-weight kind of mitten. So like not too thick. Like the AK oven mitts were there too.
Yeah.
And they're just like way too heavy for me. So that like mid weight is just perfect for me.
Totally.
Yeah.
That's what I gravitate towards as well for the daily driver mittens.
You don't find the Oyukis, how would you rate the Oyuki mitts, the ones that you have?
I think they're a pretty solid, like middle of the road.
Nice.
I've worn them in very warm conditions and on some really cold days. I feel like in the frigid days we had in Whistler, they weren't enough, but yeah, they work for a pretty wide range of temperatures.
Nice.
And, yeah, on the warmer days, I was definitely taking them off on the chairlift, but
Awesome.
making it work.
JW8 has a gear maintenance question. How often do you re-wax, hot wax, or rub on? So I think we both try to wax every 3 to 4 times riding. That doesn't always happen. When we're traveling, it can be hard to bring all of our waxing stuff, like the iron and scraper and whatnot. It's actually not that hard, but we just don't bring it for some reason.
Sometimes, yeah, with the weight limits, irons are heavy. So,
but I do like if I'm at like a resort. A lot of times I'll just drop it off at the mountain tuning center, and I know like in New Zealand at Cardrona it was like $10 for a hot wax, so that was super easy and it made a massive difference. I think I rode like 5 days. Like on the 5th day, I brought it in for a wax, and I went from being extremely slow and grippy to like riding super fast. So definitely recommend it every 3 to 4 days.
Totally. And I always go with a hot wax. I don't think.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I've ever used any kind of rub-on wax.
Yeah, but it's great. Would you recommend like people getting their own waxing setup as well?
Definitely. I mean, if you're committed to snowboarding and you're going to get a couple of weeks in maybe each season at least, then I think it's totally worth it.
Yeah.
It'll pay for itself quickly.
Especially if you have like multiple powder days, like where you live. If like, I remember last week when we had that powder week in Whistler, like I think I was waxing like every 2 days because I just wanted to have the fastest base.
If the conditions are really prime, just, go crazy with it.
Yeah. Would you say that's a good one? Like every 2 days with like 30 centimeter days?
Man, you could go every day.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you got the time.
Were you waxing every day? Have you ever done back-to-back waxes?
I have, but switching boards. So
there you go. That
doesn't really count.
Yeah. But yeah, in Whistler, like wherever you are, if you have like a POW week, you can definitely do it as much as you like. So Shant says, hi from LA with the super chat. Thanks for the support. Says, love the videos, guys. I keep them coming. I'm an absolute beginner looking to buy my first board. Don't want to rent, rocker, or camber profile. Looking for ease of use and something to progress with. Oh, amazing. You're reading our minds because TJ's going to be putting up a video or making a video soon about choosing a beginner board. So this is like a great preview. What are some of the aspects of a beginner board to look for?
Yeah, I think the biggest one in my mind is the flex, actually. So you definitely want like a softer flex. It's just going to be much easier to make the board do what you want it to do. The board's not fighting you, and in those early stages where you're figuring out the fundamentals, I think that's just going to allow you to have a much better time with the progression.
Yeah, softer flex, I totally agree. Starting off with like a very like inexpensive board, I think is important too. I find that a lot of the like inexpensive boards, I don't know what you think, is that they're actually kind of tuned a little bit for beginners as well. So like an inexpensive board is typically a bit softer.
Yep.
And something to look forward for as well is, so snowboards have this thing as Camber and Rocker, which is kind of just words that mean nothing to you now, but basically it's like you want the tips of your board, the nose and tail, to raise away from the snow. And that just makes your board a bit more catch free. So especially when you're in your tail, when you're doing turns, having that more catch free feel definitely makes it easier.
Absolutely, yeah. You know, when you're first figuring out those turns, you know, maybe you're not quite as comfortable actually tilting the board on edge, and you might be sliding and scrubbing a bit more. And by having those lifted tips, significantly going to reduce the chance that it digs into the snow and makes you fall.
Yeah. So some examples, like I guess like something like the LibTech, what's it called? The Skate Banana is like I think it's one of their cheaper boards, isn't it? The Skate Banana.
I don't think it's super cheap.
Not super cheap.
It has like a lot of tech in it. Like it's a board you could definitely progress with and kind of, you know, grow into.
But it's like a full rocker board. So if you can imagine having like a banana on the ground, it's like, yeah, the middle is in contact with the snow, and then on each side it like rises away from the snow. So that's the kind of like shape or profile you want to go for.
Yep.
Kappa's, what's the really cheap Kappa board?
The horoscope.
The horoscope. So it's like camber in the middle, but then once it gets past like sort of your bindings, it starts to rise away from the snow as well.
Yep. Yeah. Rocker towards the tips, huge. Yeah. Or full rocker dominant as well.
Would you have like a third one?
Yeah, I think another one you could look at is the K2 standard. So that's like flat with rocker in the tip. So that could be another good one. Soft flex comes in at a pretty good price point.
Yep. And there's also some cheaper Arbor snowboards as well. So the Arbor, is it the Element, or there's an even lower one than that too?
It just came out recently. It's a newer one. I used to always I still do gravitate towards the Formula. It comes in at a great price.
Formula, yeah.
But there is one that's even softer and less expensive than that.
Yeah. And yeah, so there's some options for you there. But
I'm bummed I can't think of the name right now. Dang.
Yeah, we'll remember it and say it later in the chat here. All right. Great questions, guys. All right. Jordan says, are ninja suits really worth the money? About $100 Canadian. I think like when you put it into perspective of like it is like a shirt and pants all in one, it's pretty reasonable. For me, I'm not a huge fan of the ninja suit just because I feel like it's like too warm, and I'd rather just have like the separate pants and shirt, which when you buy them separately, you end up spending about $100 Canadian. But TJ, you like the ninja suit, right?
Yeah, I totally agree with you though that like they can be too warm, but on the really cold days, I am so stoked to have the ninja suit, and I got the hooded version, so it just does a great job at keeping all the warmth in, and yeah, it's a cool piece of base layering to have.
Definitely. All right, so Phineas Sanner with the super chat, thanks for the support, says, got my Icon Pass, awesome, waiting for snow in Southern California. Amazing. Yeah, we're probably gonna buy the Icon Passes as well. We just need to sit down and like look at it and do it.
We should have already done it. But yeah, hope to get down to SoCal as well, hit up Bear Mountain at some point this year.
Yeah, and it's pretty fun. These like mountain collective type passes. Like we have the Epic Pass now, which we can ride here in Colorado, back in Whistler, all over the place. If we go to Japan, there's some spots that have it. Go to Europe, all over the place.
Yeah, Australia,
yeah, we're using it in Australia already. It's crazy. We've already had like
it's pretty
a ton
nuts.
of days.
Like if you are able to travel, like it is such a good value.
Yeah. All right. And James says, what are your thoughts on the 686 waterproof hoodie combined with a Vulcan bib for Whistler January conditions? That's risky, I would say. The waterproof hoodie is so like this analog hoodie. It's like waterproof or like water resistant or repellent, but I'm pretty sure that as soon as I get this thing wet, I'm gonna be soaked. And Whistler is the kind of like resort, like the West Coast resorts. It can be cold and like light snow, but it can also be just as likely to get some like heavier wet snow. So if that's the case, I think you should definitely check out some kind of like shell jacket that's like 15, 20K. If you want to go even higher, get some Gore-Tex. But depends on where you live. But someplace like Whistler, it's a risky move. Like, how did you find the snow in Whistler?
Yeah, I think early on in the season there was definitely some days that I had a Gore-Tex jacket, but I had 15K pants, and I definitely had some dampness going on with that. But I would say for January, you're gonna want more than a hoodie, probably.
Yeah, if you're not getting wet, you're probably getting freezing cold.
Yeah. I have had one of the 686 like waterproof type hoodies. It was a hood zip years ago, and I think they're pretty good quality. Like some of them are a little more synthetic and a little more water resistant than others, but yeah, I wouldn't put all your eggs in that basket.
Good answer, man. CeeLo Board with the super chat says, I ride with a skate helmet. What you think? I'll be there this weekend from Chicago. Oh, very cool. Yeah, welcome. Well, hope you have a great trip here. But yeah, skate helmets, I don't know. I'm sure skate helmets are built pretty well for protecting your head from the concrete. But I don't know if they've got all the right spots for snow. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's not ideal, but it's absolutely better than not wearing a helmet.
I would say just to just to err on the side of caution, pick up like a snowboard helmet. Yeah,
I think that's the best idea. And I couldn't tell you numbers as far as like what type of impacts a skate versus snow helmet can take, but I feel like with the momentum that you get in snowboarding, even as a more like beginner to intermediate rider versus skateboarding, the chance of taking a bigger impact is higher just because you're going faster. So they probably are a little more protective.
That makes so much sense, yeah, because I know that you can go fast in skateboarding, but in snowboarding, like the speed is like 5, I don't know what.
Yeah, like way faster.
Way faster, all right. Yeah, there you go, yeah. Just consider the speed, and then you also have ice. Like hitting your head on concrete hurts, but hitting your head on ice like really is awful. I've done that a few times in like playing ice hockey, and it's like even with the helmet on, it hurts. So
it's serious.
I think I'd recommend a snowboard helmet. All right. Willie Wong says, hi, Kevin and TJ from Hong Kong. I'm using Burton Mission bindings now and planning to buy Union Force. Is it good? Thanks. Nice, man. Very cool. I would actually recommend something like the Union Stratas. The Union Force are good, but I'm not a huge fan. A lot of our friends ride Union Force and love them, but I don't like the ankle strap. I find is like too bulky.
Yep.
I like it more like 3D ankle strap that's like just like less material that forms better to your boot. So and the Burton Mission bindings, I feel like they kind of do that a little bit. So maybe like the Stratas or
I think that would be like the next step up. Very very comparable performance to the Force, but they're going to be way more comfortable, and you get more tech in them as well. So if you can swing it, that Strata would be the better choice for sure.
Yeah, and if the Strata is like too high end for you, maybe check out something like the Union Contacts or like are the Contact Pros less than the Stratas?
I think maybe slightly. I think they're a comparable price point. But yeah, I think the Contacts have a similar ankle strap to the Force, but the Contact Pros, you get that upgraded ankle strap.
Yeah, check out the ankle straps. Yeah, I'm big on ankle straps. I think it's the most important part of the binding. What do you think?
I think as far as comfort goes, it's a huge role, and I think as close as you can get to not even knowing the binding is there once you're riding, that's the direction you want to go. Yeah, even for performance, because I feel like when it's chunky, you get less of those like fine movements. It turns it into like big movements. Definitely.
Nice. All right. All right, people still asking about the 686 waterproof hoodie.
Oh, we went out of focus.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, this is the Google Pixel trick. You need to, there we go.
There it is.
All right, so Braden wants to know, what's the biggest difference between the Evil Twin and the Kappa DOA? I think there's two big differences. Do you want to cover the first one and I'll do the second one?
Sure.
All right.
The Evil Twin has triple base technology. It's going to completely change the feel of the board.
So like that spoon shaped in the nose and tail?
Exactly, yeah, the spooned nose and tail. So much more catch free, but definitely is going to change the feel of the board quite dramatically. Yeah,
and the other one, I think on the DOA is much, not a ton stiffer, but it's a little bit stiffer. Like the DOA, to me, it feels like a 5 or 6 in stiffness, where the Evil Twin is actually getting close. It was like a 4.5. How would you say it?
Yeah,
Evil Twin.
I've been finding it to be. I mean, I've spent a good amount of time on it. It's probably broken in a little bit now, but I would say softer side of medium. Yeah, like 4 around there.
Yeah. So yeah, a little bit of stiffness difference too. Yeah. All right, back to a few super chats. Thanks for the support, guys. And we've missed a bunch here. All right, so Wayne McKenzie with the $13.99 super chat. Thanks so much, Wayne, for the support. He says, heading to Toronto ski and snowboard show tomorrow. Hyped, looking for good deals. I bought my first set of bindings at that Toronto ski and snowboard show.
No way.
Very cool. I think I bought, it was step-on bindings and boots, like that step-on like plate.
For like K2 clickers?
Yeah, K2 clickers.
Yeah, let us know if you guys have ever ridden K2 clickers. That was actually my first few times ever snowboarding was on a rental board, and
nice.
I had the K2 clickers, yeah.
Awesome. So this super chat or live chat is a perfect time for the show tomorrow. And Wayne has another, he just did it twice, but yeah, thanks for the support, Wayne. Hope you find some good deals. Low Cry with another super chat says, they're Oakley flight decks. TJ actually sold them to me a week or two before your New Zealand trip last year. Awesome. Thanks for the tips. Like literally sold them to you?
No. Did I? I don't think I've ever physically sold a pair of flight decks to anyone, because I gave my last pair to Bo.
Oh.
Maybe I'm sorry if I forgot.
Do you have your other pair of flight decks?
I do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And those are the only 2 that I've had, if I recall correctly.
Were you like working in a store still?
Oh, that could be. Were
you still at Evo maybe?
Yeah, that must have been it, because that was like my last like couple of weeks at Evo was right before we went to New Zealand, and that coincided exactly when I moved to Whistler. So that was probably it.
Cool,
so
yeah.
We've met before. That's awesome.
Sick. Yeah. So yeah, if you guys don't know, so before TJ moved to full-time YouTube, he was working at like a ski snowboard shop in Denver called Evo.
Yep. Yeah.
So
still, we were just riding with one of the dudes from Evo today out at Keystone.
Yeah. All right, so next up we got James Mackey with the super chat. Says, hey guys, love the content. Any essential gear tips for Japan? I'm going to Niseko end of Jan. Also, is David joining you for Japan this season? So I think for David, still waiting. I think he's still waiting for his doctor's approval to get back on his snowboard.
Yeah.
He's been healing up from that knee injury from a year ago, but I think it's going to be good, and I have a feeling he'll be coming with us.
I really hope so. Yeah, I'm feeling optimistic. He's on it with like the physical therapy, so.
Yeah, he's super on it, and he's like young. He's like, how old is he? Like 15 years old or something? He's like,
I think he just turned 21.
His body rejuvenates like nothing. Like it's crazy.
Rubber bones.
Yeah, and what are some essential gear tips for Japan?
Essential gear tips for Japan. Ooh, I've got a hack. This is something that I've really embraced now, but I didn't really figure it out until a couple seasons ago.
Yeah.
If Japan, you're gonna find a lot of powder, hopefully, and I used to always wear hoodies like with a hood for layering, and your shell has a hood too, so I'd always find that this would just get caked with snow, and then it'd be going down my back, and it'd just be all kinds of trouble. So I have a crew neck sweatshirt that I wear for layering now.
Okay.
And, I definitely would recommend that. So you just have the one hood. You don't have to worry about any of that nonsense.
Nice. So when you go to Japan, know that it's probably going to be colder than you're used to, and there's going to be more snow than you're used to. So gear tips, I think having the powder skirt done up while you're out there is really important. So if you have the Volcom jacket and pants, you can actually zip everything together. You can also, the most powder skirts, you button it from the jacket to the pants, which is really helpful as well. Or get bib pants. With the bib pants, that's a great way to keep the powder from going up your back. Although I have had it go down my bibs before in Japan.
Yeah, it can happen.
Yeah. What else? Maybe a good face mask. Last year I had a really thick, heavy face mask, which just kept me warm. I don't know if I needed it, but it felt nice.
Yeah. Definitely bring a low light and a highlight lens just to be prepared for either conditions. I feel like we were using the low lights most of the time.
The whole time, yeah. And if you do any filming, or if you want your phone to stay charged, maybe have an extra set of batteries, extra portable charger with you, something to power bank to keep everything charged up.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things with Japan in Niseko last year was it was colder than I thought it was going to be. Honestly, it was very, very cold some of those days, and just anything you can do to mitigate the issues that come along with that.
Maybe some good snowboard socks as well. So we both ride Stance socks, and you can definitely the Stance line has got lots of different stuff you can choose from in terms of park socks, all mountain socks, different materials that keep you warmer or cooler. And I would definitely try to get the warmest pair of Stance socks you can get. Yeah. And then, of course, a powder board.
I was about to say that. That's critical.
So, I've picked up the Libtech Orca. I had that in Japan last year. Highly recommend that as a powder board. The year before, I was on the Nitro POW, which is just also made for powder. Really wide nose, swallowtail. And TJ, what couple of POW boards would you recommend for Japan?
Yeah, I would. I definitely would recommend the Party Wave I picked up this season. I'm gonna be right back there. I'm gonna be trying that out in Japan this year, and I want to say the Mind Expander, but
do you think the Mind Expander is not enough board for Japan?
No, I think the Mind Expander would do really, really well.
Okay.
The Hovercraft I think would be another good one.
Most of the Jones boards, it would be great, right?
Yeah, geared towards that style of riding.
Yeah. Or you could pick up a Japanese board as well. So out there's some companies, none of them are popping in. Karua Shapes, even though I don't think they're made in Japan or owned by a Japanese company, they are how are they affiliated with Japan? Are they made in Japan, or is it just I think they're made by Germans.
I'm not sure.
I think there's a German-Japan connection there, but
I don't know the heritage of Karua.
But then there's also Gentem sticks, which you rented one.
Yeah, Gentem stick. 100% gonna ride a Gentem stick or two out in Japan. Great brand to check out.
Nice.
They're a little more expensive, but they're also one of a kind boards. They're very cool. Moss Snow Sticks is another one out of Japan. So
yeah. Nice, good question, man. All right, so next up we got Sadharsan Sakumar with $20 super chat. Thanks for the support. He says, "Hi from Seattle. I have a Burton Custom. I've heard you should set the bindings back if riding POW, but I'm not sure how much I should set it back. Love the vids. Keep up the good work." Thanks for the support and awesome question. I think in powder, especially that Northwest Washington, BC, Canada powder, set it back all the way. What do you think? Would you put your back foot into the last set of holes on the stance there?
Yeah, I think if it's a really deep day, I would say maybe 30 centimeters plus.
What about 20 centimeters? That's still pretty deep.
Yeah, 20 centimeters. Yeah. I don't know for 20, I don't know if I'd go all the way back.
Okay.
But so I will say with the custom, the reference stance does have a slight setback already. So if you went, even honestly, even as little as an inch is going to be noticeable. But I'd probably go 1.5 inches.
What if it was a beginner's first time in powder? Somebody who's newish to powder. And you're like, oh, I want you to keep up. I want you to be able to keep your nose up as easy. You don't have any back leg
probably
strength.
Just slam it all the way to the back. Yeah.
All right.
Just float is the top priority. That's going to do it. That's going to help.
Yeah, because when you're in the powder, what happens is there's a bunch of stuff that happens, but one thing is if your tail is too big, then it makes turning harder because you end up having to push more snow around. So having that small tail allows your board to sink, it allows you to keep your nose up much easier, but then it also allows you to get that tail back and forth in turns much easier too.
Totally. Yeah, dude. Yeah,
so,
great point.
So try it all the way back. I would start all the way back, if I had a custom, and then if it feels funny, you can always move it up a bit. But definitely, I would, -9, -12 in the back, all the way back, and bring a tool with you too. Maybe you can always switch it on the fly.
Yeah. With the Burtons, with the channel, it's pretty quick, so you can play around with it.
Yeah, great question, man. Thanks for the support. And Jen with another super chat says, TJ, any board recommendations? I have a few test events coming up.
Well, I guess it depends what brand's test you're going to, but
any boards that are popping in your brain?
Yeah, I think if you get a chance to try the Ultra Mind Expander, that's one that I feel not a lot of people have had the chance to feel out. So that one would be really cool to get some feedback on that.
And Jen, try the Yes 2020. I want to know your feedback on that one.
The Yes 2020 is another one that's super funky and hard to find on the mountains. Yeah, I don't know, man. I feel there's so many options. You try some of the kind of going along with that Ultra Mind Expander. That's kind of a theme across a few brands this year. So, maybe the Super Pig or the Huck Knife Pro. Try to compare those.
Is the LibTech Instigator, is that the really long one with the cat face on it? Or is it called something different?
I'm not sure. It gets confusing because Never Summer has a board called the Instigator as well, but I'm pretty sure. No, I think there is one called the Instigator on LibTech also.
Some kind of gator.
Very similar.
Yeah.
I know the famous super long one is the Doughboy, but I know Engine's ridden the Doughboy, but.
Yeah, Engine, just get on some crazy stuff and tell us about it.
Yeah, just get on the weird funky shapes or the lesser known stuff so you can fill us in on it.
Nice, man. Yeah. Did you say the Jones Ultramind Expander? Or
Yeah.
what about the Super Pig? Are those comparable in stiffness or not really?
I haven't ridden the Ultramind Expander yet. I really hope I get the chance to, early on in the season, but the Super Pig is stiff. It is very stiff, I found, compared to the War Pig. And honestly, I think the Ultramind Expander is going to be even stiffer. I think it's going to be an incredibly stable snowboard. If you look at it, it's one of the thickest boards I've ever seen. It's got a very thick core.
Engine, I'd be curious to know what you think about Never Summer boards, and are they very popular in Europe? And if they do have them there, what do you think of the Never Summer Swift? Because that one was kind of on my radar this year. And yeah, can you ride that one too and tell me about it?
Yeah, definitely.
Charles Duster with the super chat just says, just spent all my money on a Huck Knife. Nice, dude. Yeah, fun park, free ride, freestyle board. Congrats, man.
Yeah, man, that's money well spent.
Thanks for saving $2 for us. Really appreciate it. Hope you love that board. And Lokrai lets you know that, yes, it was in Evo in Denver.
I was very confused at first. I'm sorry, Lokrai, but that makes a lot of sense now. I hope you're liking the goggles.
How did you forget somebody with a badass name like Lokrai? I hope I'm saying it right. Lokrai?
I don't know, man.
Maybe you guys
in a shop, you
meet
a lot of people every single day.
That's true. And James with the super chat says taking some friends to Japan from Singapore snowboarding for their first time. They are all very much beginners. Any recommendations on helping them? Yeah, for the beginners, I think my biggest thing, like I used to bring out groups of like 6 or 8 beginners at a time. I would just take them to a small slope where you can actually just like either get onto a magic carpet, one of those carpets, or some place where they can just like hike the mountain up and down. And with like, that's just like a good pitch. And I think the most important thing is that the pitch of the slope is like very level too. It's not like pulling you off to the left or right into a ditch somewhere. And yeah, just get them to do a bunch of skating with one foot, skate around for a half an hour or so, doing some 1 foot riding too, good practice for the chairlift. And then get them sliding on their heels, sliding on their toes, sliding back and forth on their heels and toes, and then trying to get a few single turns down. And I think the biggest thing to remember is that with like new snowboarders is that everyone kind of learns at a different pace. Some people, you may get a group that everyone progresses at the same time, but I would say the main thing is that everyone's having like a good time and not trying to like push it too hard or like progress too quickly, because that's when people can kind of feel like defeated if they're like not getting it. I would say it really takes like 2 days to start like linking your turns. You definitely have some people start linking their turns after a day, or sometimes it's like immediate. But yeah, just be patient, have fun. If somebody's tired, take breaks, and yeah, have a good time. Oh man, you're taking them to Japan too. If it's a powder day, no friends on a powder day. Just could you imagine?
Yeah. Good luck, guys.
See ya.
It's also, powder would make it so much more difficult to learn your first turns.
Andreas and Tash H with the super chat says, have you guys ever been to Big Sky in Montana? I'm planning on moving to work there next season. Very cool. We've like kind of driven through Montana. I don't know, have you snowboarded in Montana?
Never been to Big Sky. I had a friend who lived there for a couple of years, and I saw a lot of clips and stuff on his Instagram, and it looks like a really fun mountain.
Is that our mutual friend? From North Carolina? Kincaid, yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's still there.
Is he?
I think so.
Could be. I feel like he travels a bunch. He's like always doing motocross when he's not snowboarding, or like all kinds of crazy stuff. But, but yeah, it seems like a really fun place, and like they get a lot of good snow.
Yeah, I've heard tons of great things about Montana, and I think it's kind of like one of those spots for snowboarding that is a little bit. It's like a bit of an unknown. So not a lot of people go there for like trips, but I feel like the hardcore Montana and probably surrounding people know that the snowboarding there is awesome and the mountains are great. Yeah. So yeah, I've heard. I'm sure you're gonna have a great time, and then you're kind of close to some other places too, like Jackson Hole in Wyoming is a state away, and probably a few other places. I don't know my geography like too well, but
yeah, you're kind of like right in the middle there. You could go, wouldn't be too hard to go west if you want, or you could even maybe drive here to Colorado.
There you go. Yeah, you're in a good spot. That's exciting. All right, let's see what else is going on here. We're over the 1 hour mark, but I think we can go a little longer.
Sure.
All right, so over 100 likes too, guys. Thanks so much. Jose Bortisa has got a question. Okay, I'm gonna go back and see if I can find it. But let's see who else is on here. And Baby Hippo says, are you guys gonna hit up Utah this year? Possibly. We're gonna keep an eye on the snow, and if Utah's getting snow, we can head down there. You've been there once, right? Or a couple
I've been
times?
there a few times over the years. Yeah, not in quite a while. Last time I was there was like just for a day, driving back from Mammoth a couple years ago. But would love to check it out. I really want to hit up Brighton again. I went there with Garrett once, but we only had one day. So I think that'd be really cool to check out. Nice. And if we get the Icon Pass, I know Brighton is on that pass. So cool. Yeah.
Sneaky Ninja Pro says, what's the best way to practice for snowboarding in the summer? I think probably the best way is a skateboard. Skateboarding like transfers very well. But something that I learned from one of TJ's videos is like build yourself like a 2-liter bottle and tape it shut with like water in it, and then like hop on it with the skateboard deck and like practice your balance that way.
Super fun. Yeah. And it's like, you might as well do it. It's very low cost and pretty much guaranteed fun. And it helps your snowboarding.
Nice. And Chris DeLeon says, got a 2020 headspace for a steel at $360 because it was a demo board used 3 times. Off to Mammoth tomorrow for opening day. Wow, Chris. Good deal, man. I'm jealous.
That is a killer deal for real, though.
I don't even think, I think mine was, I don't know.
That's pretty sweet that you were able to like verify it was only demoed 3 times. So it's like basically a brand new board.
Yeah, I think you're going to enjoy that board, man. Like, I love it. It's got great grip. It's a very versatile board. I think it's great. All right. Oh, Casey Willax is doing a stream in 30 minutes. Yeah, we'll have to check that one out. Brandon says, I used Burton Mittens, but my hands got really soft. Do y'all know any good lightweight ones? Also good to wear with hoodies. If you want a lighter weight mitten, what does Chris have? I think Chris has like every brand is gonna have like a lightweight model of their mitt. So if you want to stick with Burton's, they definitely have a lightweight model. I think the Analog Gentry, I feel like they're actually heavier this year. They were lighter last year. And then I think Chris, who has the super light ones, have Celtec. Is that it? Celtec mitts.
Yep.
And they're like, again, they come in like from very heavy to very light, but they have like a very lightweight mitt too.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right. Thanks for all the great questions, guys. 250 people watching. Anton Clark says, hey, TJ, what do you prefer, Battalion Surfer or Jones Mind Expander?
Oh, man. What a tough call.
What a conundrum.
Yeah, I think the Surfer is a special board. You know, that huge swallowtail just feels rad to be out there riding it. And I would say for really, really deep powder, like those special days, the Surfer is what I would lean towards. But for just a general powder day, you know, whether it's 10 centimeters or 40 centimeters, or even if, maybe you're doing some all mountain riding, I think that the Mind Expander is going to be more versatile and still going to do very, very well in the deep snow.
Nice. The last Nat says, how do you rate the super Kappa DOA or the Kappa Super DOA? I think, so I've tested the flex out. I think it's the same flex as the DOA. So like a 5.5, between a 5 and a 6 around there. But what do you think? You've ridden both. Like, how do you think they flex wise, stiffness wise?
Yeah, I found, I think that the Super DOA gets a little bit more flexy once you're really leaning out over the tips with that 3D core profiling that's going on. And I made a firm decision. I've thought about this quite a bit, that if I was choosing between the DOA and the Super DOA, if price wasn't an option, I would go Super DOA.
Nice. George Cowley says, hey guys, I'm just starting to snowboard and I'm wondering if it would be better to buy my own board or to rent one to start. That's a tough question because there's so many like factors. I feel like, I don't know, like for me, like getting into snowboarding, I knew that I was gonna love it. I just like wanted to have my own board, and I kind of like also knew that I would be able to ride enough times in the season to get the worth out of owning my own snowboard. So if you if you can kind of like project that you're gonna have enough days in the evening or weekends or whatever your schedule is where you can actually ride enough to make it worth it, then owning it is amazing. But if you're kind of like not into tons of other board sports, or if you're not sure, it's a good way to try it out is to rent stuff. But just know too that when you do rent, you're not always getting like the most high quality gear. So yeah, just different things to consider. But if you're stoked on snowboarding, you can definitely pick up some like used gear even. But yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, for sure. I think Yeah, like you were saying, as long as you're gonna, you're committed to, maybe like 5 or 10 days even in one season, or if you can hold on to it for multiple seasons, it's totally worth it. Like, you're gonna end up saving money. You're gonna get higher quality gear. You're gonna get gear that's gonna be more specific to you. It's just gonna have a better fit. And then at the end of the day, you can sell it and get some of that money back. So.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, you can always sell it or even donate it, or like, there's definitely ways to kind of like mitigate that cost. Low Cry with another super chat. Thanks, man. And so he's kind of like giving us some history on his name here. It's Leokri. Oh, Leokri.
Okay.
Leokri.
I'll do my best to remember.
Leokri. All right, it's Scottish Gaelic for Warrior King, old D&D character. I think I just aged myself. LOL. No, I think D&D, man, it's still going strong. Probably with some of the kids out there when they're not doing their like tech deck and fingerboarding, they're getting into D&D maybe.
Yeah, it could be. I wouldn't be surprised.
All right, let's Leokri. All right, got it. It's a cool name though. All right, so what else is going on down here? All right, Brian wants to know, is the Evil Twin good for XL jumps, or would you recommend a different board?
Great question, man. Great question.
This is why TJ needs to get that Evil Twin review out. Stat.
Yeah, so I think just as a general all-around park board, even hitting the larger jumps, the Evil Twin is great. Like I mentioned earlier, it's still got some good flex for jibbing and butters and stuff as well. But if you're looking for exclusively XL jumps, I would probably go for something a little stiffer, like maybe the Boss or something like that.
Nice. And Justin Rock says, how is the elevation sickness in Colorado? I'm on the East Coast and heading to Colorado in a week, first time. The elevation sickness, it definitely, for me, it hit me really hard the first day. I don't know if you saw that live chat we did on Board Archive with TJ, but I was sitting actually right here, same spot just about, and I was like yawning, and like I was like starting to lean into the screen. My eyes are starting to get all squinty.
It was pretty funny. Yeah, it's a thing, man. Yeah, there's less oxygen in the air.
Yeah, and the next day, my first full day of riding too, I was definitely feeling it. Kind of had like just a general like haze over my entire body. It kind of felt like fluish even. But then I think by day 3, the third day I was here, I was starting to feel like myself. I think it probably takes like a week to get out of your system though, because I still like feel like a small like 10% of elevation sickness still.
Yeah.
Do you feel it at all? Because you used to live here too, right?
Yeah, I mean, I lived in Summit, my house was at 9,500 feet elevation for a year, and then Denver's 5,280, so it's not as big of a change. But coming back right now, I feel fine just around the house, doing normal things, but I notice it hiking.
Hiking, yeah.
Yeah, that's when I noticed it. Even yesterday, just the short hike we did from the top of the park up to the gondola.
Wow.
I noticed it.
Yeah, so to give you guys some perspective on this too, so Vancouver is at sea level, so 0. Whistler's at 3,000 feet, I think. The base, the village, and then the top of Whistler Mountain is 8,000 feet. And where we are now, you're saying it's about 9,500 feet?
Yeah, somewhere around 95 or maybe 10,000 feet.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so we're 2,000 feet maybe higher than the peak of Whistler. And then the mountain on top of that is up to 12,000 feet.
Yeah.
So you're up there, yeah.
It's significant elevation change for sure.
Is that why those planes seem so low in the sky today? They're just not really even that high?
No, I think that was some kind of special. They were military planes.
Okay.
So they were doing some kind of training. But it's cool. Sometimes actual fighter jets will swoop through the mountains like that. It's pretty rad. Nice.
Kellen says, "What's a good boot brand?" So a pair of boots, a boot brand that I've been stoked on recently is Vans. If you're gonna go into a store and try some different ones on, I would point you towards trying those ones on first, and just to see if they feel comfortable to you. But what do you think, TJ?
Yeah, I would say Adidas. They make very comfortable, functional boots. I might end up switching back to Adidas, but I've been really happy with my ride boots so far as well.
Nice. George Cowley with the super chat says, what kind of complete beginner board do you guys recommend, or would you recommend just renting a board to start out with? Yeah, I'd recommend just some complete beginner board, something that's priced low, that maybe has some multiple contact points, that's soft, that's got some rocker in it. So yeah, there's lots of boards. Every board brand has that like base model.
Yep.
Do you remember what the name of that Arbor board was yet?
The Foundation.
Foundation. Yes.
Which obviously beginner board, Foundation, there's correlation there.
Yeah, so check out something like the Arbor Foundation, and then from there that can give you an idea of like other boards and like sort of start to compare them that way.
Yeah,
Nice.
one thing I'll add to that though is with Arbor, it's either full camber or full rocker, and there are some other like hybrid options that you might find in other brands that are great too.
Yeah. But yeah, I've had a full rocker from Arbor and I was really pleased with it. I was like, it's not one of those rockers where you feel like you're too loose or too out of control. It's like,
Same.
they kind of build them, in my opinion, still like gives you that, enough control.
It is cool. Like, so it's for the camber and the rocker, they call it an elliptical rocker. So it's like it gets less and less as you go out to the tips.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Randy with the super chat, thanks for the support, says, support the boys. Awesome. Happy Thursday. Nice, man. Yeah, appreciate it.
Definitely, man. Thank you.
Yeah, like we were saying before, we don't have any brand sponsors, and so you guys are our sponsors. So that's I saw a few comments of people asking like, how do you afford these snowboard trips? And it's because of you guys. So really appreciate it. Noah says, do you know any good jackets? So we talked about this a little bit earlier, but I think we've both been riding Volcom jackets quite a lot the last few years. So this year I got the Gooch jacket as my POW jacket and the Volcom Brighton pullover for my park jacket. And
my favorite jacket that I think I've ever had up to this point has been the Volcom Stretch Gore, which I think is like pretty comparable to the Gooch.
Yep, the Gooch has stretch gore as well. Yeah.
So I think it's definitely that higher end jacket, but I think it's totally worth it.
Yeah, and a couple other brands to shout out that I've worn in the last few years has been Dakine. I've had a Dakine jacket, 2 Dakine jackets, and a couple of their bib pants, and was really pleased with both. And before that too, I rode a few different kits, Air Blaster kits. So Air Blaster makes stuff a little bit on the less expensive side. They don't do a lot of Gore-Tex jackets or pants, but Air Blaster's got some really cool, funky styles as well.
Yeah.
All right, Andreas and Tash, what are your thoughts on Gilson Pioneer? You've ridden a Gilson board. I haven't ridden a Gilson board before. They're not like that accessible, but
yeah, I think they might do direct selling. I'm not 100% sure, but
Okay.
I've only ever ridden the Gilson Dual. I'm not super familiar with their line. I think the Pioneer might be one of their more directional boards. But the big thing with Gilson is the soft edge technology that they use. So it's like an extended base towards the middle, and then it's hard to explain, but it's like a butter pad along the whole base, a very thick base, and it makes it very catch-free. It's a very interesting feeling. It's different.
Would you get it?
No.
Okay.
I'm not the biggest fan, but I do plan on giving it another try this season.
Nice.
Yeah, so get some feedback at some point.
Maybe wait until TJ gets this next review out.
Yeah. I'll try to do it early. Honestly, early season would be a great time to do it, so I'll try to do it early on.
And Chris wants to know, do you still ride the Yes 420? So the Yes 420 is like a shorter, wider, kind of like tree powder board. And I definitely had some really good days on it, but I've not ridden that board in a couple of years. But it's a fun one. I feel like it's a bit too short for me, actually. Maybe I'll let TJ ride it or something.
I've never tried the 420, and I don't think it's really changed much over the years, so I'd be down to try it one day.
Yeah, I think it's got the powder hull now. Is there like a non-powder hull version of it?
Yeah, there's 2 versions of it. So we got to get on the powder hull though for sure, and the 2020.
All right, let's go. Let's keep going a little bit longer here. You guys are getting shooting out some great questions here. Luke Hayes with the super chat says, "Hey guys, heading to Japan in February. What is the best powder board money can buy? No expense spared. Gentem stick or Storm Chaser?" Wow,
dude. I mean, if the best powder board money can buy, no expense spared. That is epic. I love that.
What about the Battalion Surfer limited edition?
Yeah, right. That one.
$1,200 board or something?
Man, I really want to say Gentem stick, but no, I'm still going Gentem stick. I'm gonna go Gentem stick.
Like if you had like like somebody was just like a blank check, and they're like, "Here, buy a board." I'd probably get a Gentem stick too.
I think I would go Gentem stick.
Yeah, Gentem stick. There you go. But the Battalion Surfer looks amazing though, with like that 3BT nose just like cruising through the powder.
I think I like the craftsmanship on the Gentem sticks just a little bit more, but then the tech I do like better on the Surfer.
Wow. Yeah. But yeah, they're all good choices. You have the Storm Chaser is amazing in there too, so there's no wrong answer, really. I would just buy the board that looks like the most fun to you.
Exactly. The board that like when you see it, when you look down at your feet and you see it in the powder, you're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, this is sick." That's the one.
All right. Okay, let's just check over to the super chats here, make sure we're not missing any. TJ from NGen super chat says, "When are you returning to Dubai to do that cursed rail?"
Dude, it's gonna be super scary the next time I see that rail set up, but I definitely am gonna do it. It was going to be in October, but the opening of this Dubai Glacier was delayed, unfortunately. So hopefully soon, maybe a Euro trip in the cards this season at some point. So that could be a possibility.
Yeah,
this season.
I need to get over to Europe. Just love those like massive mountains in the Alps there. It would be fun to get down to Italy maybe just to try a different country.
Yeah, yeah.
TJ's got some family over there in Germany and Munich.
Pass through Munich, see the family, maybe do a little river surfing.
Yep. Get to ride with Andreas and the crew out there. Maybe the twins will come down from Britain as well. So let's make it happen. All right, let's do a beanie giveaway. So if you guys don't know, we do Snowboard Pro Camp beanies, so I'll just randomly choose somebody and do a beanie giveaway. And so if I choose your comment, all you have to do is follow me at Snowboard Pro Camp on Instagram and then send me a direct message with your full name, full address, and I'll get that beanie sent out to you soon. And guys, if you haven't yet too, follow TJ's Instagram at Board Archive. And he's also got some merch too. Do you have any merch left, or did you sell it all?
I am out of beanies, but I do have these hats available. If you guys are looking for a hat, I've got some, shirts and hoodies and stuff.
Yeah, so when you check out TJ's videos over on Board Archive, there's links in the description to merch, and it's just like a way that we support the channel and appreciate it. But yeah, just you guys watching is tons of support too. So
absolutely.
Really appreciate it. But yeah, let's give away a beanie. Just random comment. Not gonna like read them or anything. Just randomly pick somebody. Actually, maybe we'll do like one more quick question. Just give people time to comment here and like if they want to.
Yeah, start dropping those comments. Cannonball that like button.
Alan says, "What's up, Kevin and TJ? What are your thoughts on hybrid boards?" I think they're amazing. Yeah, the more hybrid, funky, weird hybrids, even if it's a mild of a hybrid is like a park, like all mountain, like freestyle free ride board. I love the hybrid kind of qualities.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I'm a fan. There's all kinds of. There's like pretty much every variation of hybrid you can think of has been done. There's still some weird funky stuff coming out, but it's more rare now.
I like the twin pow boards. I feel like those have been coming on the radar more recently, and that style of hybrid is really cool. Yeah,
and then like as far as the hybrid camber profiles go, that's whenever I hear hybrid, I always think camber profile.
Right.
Yeah, I think that they're great. Combining the best of both worlds.
There you go. All right, let's pick a random comment. Do you want to tell me like to stop, and I'll just stop it on somebody's?
Okay. All right. Keep scrolling. Keep going. All right. Stop.
All right. Oh. All right. Engine. It stopped on Engine.
It did. Oh my gosh.
All right, man. Engine. Send me. If you have Instagram, right? Yeah. Follow me on Instagram. I'll follow you back too. I should be following you. And yeah, we'll send it out to Engine. Unless you tell me you don't want a beanie. I think he wants it though.
I mean, Engine wears beanies.
Yeah, we'll send out the beanie, and then yeah, maybe we'll send you 2 out because I know you got a big crew of snowboarders that you like support as well. So awesome, Engine's the winner. And Justin Visey with a super chat. Thanks, Justin. He says, running late, off to Mammoth in the AM. # taco fun. Nice, man. Have a good time in Mammoth.
Yeah, enjoy, man. That's awesome.
It feels like Mammoth just closed, and it's opening again.
Yeah, it's wild.
Just like out here. All right, let's just double check that we didn't miss any super chats here. Oh wow, what is happening?
It's going crazy.
Oh no! All right, YouTube is just going crazy for a sec, guys. I think it's
Whoa. Okay.
All right. No, those are still like old questions. Let's just go back to the live chat. All right. Yeah, sweet. So congrats, Engine. And yeah, just give you guys a quick update of what's happening too with us. We're going to be here riding in Colorado for the next, how many days do we have left in Colorado? 3 more days?
3 more days.
Yeah, so if you guys are in the area, if you see us, come up and say hello. It's been really cool. It's crazy. For like, at least for me, like going someplace new, like Colorado, someplace I've never lived, and meeting so many people. So shout out to everyone that we've met on the hill already, from Josh from earlier, and just like everybody. Like I feel like
it's been maybe for this time of year more than it's ever been. Yeah.
I think this is the most people we've ever met on a snowboard trip. So
it's very cool.
For one reason, I feel like coming down to Colorado, just people are so friendly and outgoing. If they see you, they're like, hey, Kevin and TJ. Like they just immediately call you out and come to say hello. So if you see us, definitely come say hi. Yeah, appreciate meeting everybody. It's been pretty cool.
Yeah.
And all right, so I think we've gotten the last super chat. Let's just double check. Oh, 22 ACIT with the super chat. Oh, thanks so much for the support. And Engine says the punch mittens are very nice. Very cool. All right. Well, yeah, thank you guys all for watching the live chat. Thanks, TJ, for helping out, man.
Absolutely, man. It's been a good time.
Yeah. So, yeah, I hope you guys are having a great start to your season. I hope some of this gear advice will just help you guys find like the perfect snowboard gear for you. Yeah, I feel like I got a pretty good setup. Are you happy with what you got so far?
Yeah, I'm stoked on what I have so far, and I'm trying to like close in on the final items this week. So.
Yeah, it's big. We're really trying hard to like just dial it in, because it sucks like you don't want to recommend something you're not really stoked on. So you got to find that stuff where you're just like excited to wear it, excited to like recommend it or ride it. So. Yeah,
100%.
We're trying our best here, but yeah, thanks everyone for watching. I hope you have a great weekend, and yeah, we'll see you guys. We'll talk to you guys soon. And one last super chat from Chef Boy. He says, "Will you keep coming to Colorado?" Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right.
I still claim Colorado, even though I don't live here anymore.
TJ is Canadian now.
People have been saying that.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you soon.
Bye, guys.